Hello, my name is Joel Chesmet, episode number 15. We are in Paris 2024 Olympics. Again, I'm going to be looking at a few Kenyan names that I haven't mentioned yet. I hope to give them a shout out, recognition in a place that sometimes is obsessed with glory and glamour. What about those underdogs? What about athletes that are proudly representing their countries in different disciplines? And today we are going to look at the 10,000 meters. 10,000 meters, 6.2 miles. I have a lineup of three Kenyans on the men's side that are going to represent this country of Kenya. Daniel Matieko, Nicholas Kipkorir, and Bernard Kibet. I think these three qualified for these Olympics here in Eugene. Times going for Daniel at 26, it was 26:50, 26:50, and 26:51. Close range, close gap, and that's the times they seem to be going to the Olympics with. I'll compare those numbers to the Ethiopians. We have 26:31, William Mif, Gejelcha. We have Periu Haregawi with 26:31, and their slowest is Selemon Barega, who has a 26:34. Those are the times, and that's pretty much previewing the 10K and looking at those protagonists and antagonists in this event. It's a tough discipline for Kenyans. It's been for a while. I don't think we've ever gotten a gold, so we are coming with that. But I think I'll be try to be kind with Kenyans on this event. It's not a very easy event for Kenyans. The best we've done is silver. We've lined up a few silvers in our trophy case. From 88, we had the late Kipkemboi Kimeli, who got a bronze. Late Richard Chelimo gave us a silver, then followed by the flag bearer and the GOAT, Paul Tergat. So I think our last best medal we have was Paul Tanui in 2016. I don't think we got anything in 2020. So we are coming with that history and that background. So here is 2024, and how will these three amigos bear against the dominant Ethiopians? And they've been dominant for a while in 10K, even 5K. Other than Mo Farah in London, where he had the crowd, he had the talent, he was at his prime and went for the big one. Kenyans, we've done well at silver. I think when you think of big stage, silver has been our goal, if you want to settle for that. So these Daniel, Nicholas, and Kibet, they have their work cut out. And I'm going to recognize that that's how it looks like. I hope they make through the rounds. I suspect it's going to be tough for them. I think the three might make it. I suspect they will make through the round. I think there's only one round of 10K. So you go from semis to finals, because is it? Yeah, possibly. But I think it's just one round of semis and then finals. But you are running into Ethiopians who are dominating. The other names, I think there's a Spaniard who has been doing very good too in 10K. I forgot his name. So like I say, the 10K Kenyans have their work cut out. I hope they medal. I hope at least they are top three. It's going to be a tough call. But that's the brand, that's the talent we are bringing. But there's something I want to talk about slightly about Kenya as a country when it comes to our performance in big stage. Over the years, there's something I've observed, which is that we overuse these athletes during the, let's say, regular season. They have to go make the more money, they make the best money during the season. So they have to run around in Europe, run around in America to make that money, because our system, our government, does not provide for them a place, or they don't have incentives or safety net financially or in their careers, because the structure or even the whole idea of what happens after your running career is nowhere to be seen. Even if you've won gold, you've won world championship, Olympics. So these athletes, if you look at the many we've produced, there are few who survive for so long, or they have longevity, like Eliud Kipchoge, for instance, Faith Kipyegon, Paul Tergat. Those guys, they knew what it takes. So they invested heavily on either coaches, structure their running career in a way that they were thinking of long term. That's just my observation, that these athletes have nothing to fall back to or fall back on when their careers are over. So they'll run around the world to make money. So given these Olympics or World Championship or these big events that come around every 2 years or 4 years, most of these athletes are either tired, they've been overused, or they're overraised. So even the 10Ks, the 5Ks, we've struggled. So this won't be an exception. I think that is the rule. You have to do what you have to do. So that's 10K for me. I hope Daniel, Nicholas, and Bernard Kibet represent themselves well, and maybe represent themselves. When you think about Kenya, sometimes we look patriotic, but what does the government do after? I mean, they've lately, the last few years, I think there have been incentives for gold, silver, and bronze, but they come in peanuts compared to the larger scale of things. But it's an attempt in the right direction, but I think the system can do better for athletes. That's just my plug-in, and hoping things change. I have one more thing I want to talk about, maybe before this track and running begins in France or Paris. I want to go back to Eliud Kipchoge. I'm fascinated by this character. I think I saw him close range last time he was in Eugene back in the 98, I think, season. I was fascinated by this guy, and I've watched his career, and I think those people who pay attention or they've invested religiously in running, he's done tremendously well. And I've asked the question, how, why, and how do people do that? There's a book I think he wrote, or a documentary was done about him, that was fascinating, and watching him, how he talks and speaks and presents himself. When he comes to Nike, I'm told the whole place shuts down. That's how much homage and godly powers this guy has amassed over the years. And I see that. Even in Kenya, I think they've done a few things for him. They've named a few things after him. It's all monetary, and hopefully it does, elevate their status and respect, and hopefully they can have that thing to fall back to when all is said and done. But when he was 16, he ran into his present coach, Patrick Sang. Who is Patrick Sang? Patrick Sang he's become a household name now, but I think he's the most organic local Kenyan coach that we can talk about since the time of Mike Kosgei, who was a national coach, but not a personal coach. I mean, there's some coming up. I'm told Wanyonyi has a very local, formerly world record champion in 800. I think I forgot her name. So we are localizing our talent, we are localizing our coaching, we are localizing how we bring up these careers and this talent. It's a good thing. For Eliud, Patrick Sang, formerly a student here in US, he went to Texas Longhorns. I think he has a master's in psychology. Maybe I'm wrong, somebody can correct me on that. Patrick Sang is a silver medalist in 1992 steeplechase. Patrick Sang has a great resume when it comes to running, specifically steeplechase. And I saw him one time. I brag about seeing these guys close range. I think I was in Eldoret, and he's one guy whom I remember back in the days that brought his own lunch and food. I do that too. I don't think he didn't know the influence he had on me. Where you go places as an athlete or as a referee, and you bring your own food. Maybe that's the discipline he brings to Eliud Kipchoge, because Kipchoge washes dishes when his wife has finished cooking. Take that, man. If you wanna be successful, make sure you do your wife's dishes. That is the support she needs. Very humble guy, well-read, and somebody told me he has a library in his either town, Eldoret, I don't know where it's located, but he's a well-read man, and he has a great coach in the name of Patrick Sang. I'm emphasizing this to tell you that maybe as we start to see this success, we can replicate instead of having athletes exploited around the world for money or immediacy or short term. And we can really invest not only for them when they are carrying a flag to the Olympics, but during their careers. And Patrick Sang has done this from, I think Kipchoge says he met him when he was 16. Kipchoge has been around before some of you were born, I can tell you that. And he's been at the highest level. Do you know how many marathons this guy has won? 15. He's won the Berlin 5 times. He broke the world record. He's the one man who has gone under 2 hours in marathon, though it is not officially recognized. Who cares? He went under 2 hours. Some of us, we don't even dream of that. He's coming to this championship or this Olympics to defend his 2 gold medals from the last Olympics. Let me tell you why I bring this up in my last episode, I think, this 15th one. We have Patrick Sang at the top. He's the best coach that I know of, given whom he's coaching, Eliud Kipchoge. Somebody tells me, or I found out, Patrick Sang is coaching Faith Kipyegon. Who is Faith Kipyegon? I've talked about her. She's a defending Olympic 1500 meter runner, and she might double with 5K. I mentioned that. We have Patrick Sang at the top. We have Eliud Kipchoge right here as his athlete. We have Faith Kipyegon. We have a trilogy of success. When I saw that, I bowed down again. This is what I call organic. This is what I call success. It takes 3. We have the best coach in Kenya in Patrick Sang. I'm giving a shout out and recognition here. He deserves a Hall of Fame, straight up. I say this because if everything happens the way I've been previewing and speculating and trying to give you what I think, if all this happens, gold for Eliud, gold for Faith, I'll give gold to Coach Patrick Sang. He's gonna be the best trilogy of success I've ever seen in my lifetime. And that's just me saying it's special. So watch out for these special people doing their thing. And if you didn't know one thing, the last gold Eliud Kipchoge won was in Paris in World Championship 2003 against the GOAT, Kenenisa Bekele, and the GOAT, Al Garouj, in one of the best 5,000 meters you'll ever watch in your lifetime. Eliud Kipchoge, Patrick Sang the coach, Faith Kipyegon. It's time to prove me right. This is episode number 15, Joel Chestnut, with his speculation. I'm the new prophet in track and field.